Welcome to the Madison Motor Podcast. Today is Friday, June 3rd, 2022. Today I'm going to recap Game 1 of the NBA Finals, look ahead to Game 2. We'll do NHL Conference Finals, look ahead to the games over the weekend, look back on last night's game. Major League Baseball, WNBA, Major League Soccer, French Open, golf, NASCAR, news and notes, best bet, your typical Friday show. We're starting with the NBA Finals. It was a very wild Game 1 that we got to talk about, and then we'll look ahead to Game 2. The Celtics come back from, I want to say they were down 12 heading into the fourth quarter. And they come back and win 120-108, which is amazing. As the Celtics take a 1-0 lead in the finals. Al Horford, 26 points to lead Boston in scoring. Stephen Curry had 34 points and 5 assists. He had the monster first quarter at 6 threes, but it didn't matter because Boston came back and won the game in what I thought was an improbable comeback in terms of how they did it and how the score turned into a double-digit Boston win. All right, Game 2 is Sunday night, 8 o'clock on ABC between the Celtics and the Warriors. My projections, Golden State by 4, total of 216 and 3/10. And it is Golden State by 4.5, total of 215.5. Very hard in terms of where to go for a pick. Half-point difference and 0.8 difference. So I'll go with the slight over. That's my pick for Game 2. And at gunpoint, I would probably say Golden State ties the series on Sunday night, and I would do a same-game parlay of Golden State money line with an adjusted total to the over. Bring it down to like 209.5 or something like that. So, should be an interesting Game 2 for sure. I think Golden State will bounce back from the dreaded fourth quarter. All right, now we'll do the NHL and their conference finals. We'll start with the West and work our way through the weekend. Avalanche over to Oilers 4-0 last night, so best bet was a loser. So the Avs take a 2-0 series lead. The number 3 started the game with a goal and an assist. Artturi Lehkonen, number 2 started the game with 3 assists. Nazem Kadri. And the number 1 started the game with 24 saves on 24 shots. Pavel Francois, the backup goaltender, because Darcy Kemper did not play. Now we're looking ahead to tonight's game, 8 o'clock on ESPN. You have the Lightning and the Rangers Game 2. Rangers trying to improbably go up 2-0 despite having home ice. Bolts are minus 128. Rangers are plus 106. Over under 5.5. Over is even money. Unders minus 122. Bolts minus 1.5 is plus 202. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 250. My pick for this game is the Lightning in regulation at plus 125. I believe they'll bounce back. I think that they just had some rust moments, especially in the latter half of the game. And the Rangers just kicked butt. It was impressive. But the Lightning have done it time and time again this postseason, and that is bounce back after a rough defeat. And that was a very rough defeat for the Lightning on Wednesday night. So I think they're going to win tonight. They're plus 125 in regulation. So I think they will get it done. On Saturday, 8 o'clock on TNT, you have the Avalanche at the Oilers. So the series shifts to Edmonton, where the Avs are minus 126. The Oilers are plus 105. Over under 7.5, minus 10 each way. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 180. Oilers plus 1.5 is minus 220. I'm going with the Oilers at home, plus 105. The Oilers tend to play better on their home ice than they do on the road. I believe their only road losses of the postseason were Game 1 against LA, and LA scored the late goal to take the lead. And then they did not lose a home game against Calgary. Calgary lost Game 2. and Edmonton won the rest of the games. So, that one win, the tie of the series, obviously was in Calgary. Calgary did not beat them in Edmonton. So, Edmonton has only one home playoff loss. It's similar to the Rangers. And that coming in the first game one, late goal by the opposing team when that time was the Kings. So we go Edmonton at home, plus 105 to knock off the Avalanche. And then Sunday at 3 o'clock on ESPN, you have the Rangers and the Lightning game number 3. The Lightning are probably going to be significant favorites, like minus 180 type. And the Rangers, in theory, would be like plus 150 as a road underdog. That would be, in theory, my guess. I think the Lightning will win Game 3 as well, but they will definitely, almost certainly win Game 3 if the Rangers win tonight. Because then all the pressure is going to be on them. All the pressure is on them right now. They're two-time defending champions with arguably the best goalie in the world, and Andrei Vasilevsky, who's had a terrible Game 1. So all the pressure on the Lightning. I think they win both games. If not both, then definitely one. I mean, would I be shocked if they won tonight but the Rangers won Game 3? Not really, because I think the Rangers are capable of winning a game on the road in the postseason. And the two big road wins they've had in the postseason were facing elimination. So, I would not be stunned if any of the two outcomes happen. The one outcome that would surprise me, though, would be the Rangers going up 3-0. I just don't see that happening. But I'm going to say that the Lightning win the two games over the weekend. I could see one of them being a blowout similar to Game 1, except it's Igor that struggles. And people are just like, oh, the Rangers would do for a crap game. And the other game being like a classic 2-1 kind of game where it could be the Rangers winning 2-1 or the Lightning winning 2-1. So, we'll see about that. But I do think that it's more likely that the blowout game comes in Tampa rather than the Garden. All right, Major League Baseball. We'll go over the games from yesterday and look ahead to today's and the weekend's games. Yankees over the Angels, 6-1 doubleheader Game 1. Tigers over the Twins, 3-2. Rays over the Rangers, 3-1. Blue Jays over the White Sox, 8-3. Marlins over the Giants, 3-0. Reds over the Nationals, 8-1. Yankees over the Angels, 2-1 doubleheader Game 2. Mariners over the Orioles, 7-6 and 10. Brewers over the Padres, 5-4. Cubs over the Cardinals, 7-5. Braves over the Rockies, 13-6. And the Dodgers over the Mets, 2-0. Now we look ahead to tonight's games. 2:20 Cardinals Cubs. Miles Mikolas and Marcus Stroman. The Cubs are minus 116 favorites. The Cardinals are minus 102. Over under 8. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Cardinals minus 1.5 is plus 158. Cubs plus 1.5 is minus 192. Tough one. I think the betting money lines are just about right. But I like the under. Marcus Stroman hasn't been that bad this year. Miles Mikolas has been pretty good. So I like the under 8 at minus 102. 6:30 Giants Marlins. Alex Cobb and Alicia Hernandez. Giants minus 154. Marlins plus 130. Over under 8. Overs minus 106. Unders minus 114. Giants minus 1.5 is plus 116. Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 140. I like over 8 minus 106. Nats Reds. Josiah Gray and Mike Minor. So Mike Minor making his season debut for the Reds. They're minus 138. The Nats are plus 118. Over under 10. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Nats plus 1.5 is minus 176. Reds minus 1.5 is plus 146. That total's too high. I like the under. Next up, 7 o'clock, you have the Angels and the Phillies. Chase Silseth and Zach Eflin. For some reason, the game's not posted on FanDuel in terms of betting it. So I'm going to check DraftKings very quickly. See if they have it. And they don't either. But I might take whoever's the underdog in this game. And they would probably be the Angels. D-backs Pirates. Merrill Kelly and JT Brubaker. Pirates minus 116, Diamondbacks minus 102, over under 7.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. D-backs minus 1.5 is plus 168, Pirates plus 1.5 is minus 205. D-backs are the dog in Vegas, but they're favored in ESPN Analytics at 51.5%. I'm taking the D-backs minus 102. Guardians Orioles. Shane Bieber and Bruce Zimmerman. Guardians minus 134, Orioles plus 114, over under 8, overs minus 114, unders minus 108, or minus 106, my bad. Guardians minus 1.5 is plus 125, Orioles plus 1.5 is minus 150, I'm going under minus 106. I think Shane Bieber will pitch well. Tigers Yankees from the Bronx. Elvin Rodriguez and Garrett Cole. Yankees minus 360, Tigers plus 290, over under 8, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Tigers plus 1.5 is plus 136, Yankees minus 1.5 is minus 164. I'm going over. I think the Yankees might do that by themselves. Twins Blue Jays. Chichi Gonzalez making the season debut against Yasei Kikuchi. Blue Jays minus 220, Twins plus 184, over under 9.5, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Twins plus 1.5 is minus 114, Blue Jays minus 1.5 is minus 105. For this game, I'm going to go with under 5.5 first half total runs, minus 115, but I do not feel good about it. White Sox Rays. Vince Velasquez and Shane McClanahan. Rays minus 10, White Sox plus 176, over under 7.5, overs plus 104, unders minus 128. White Sox plus 1.5 is minus 120, Rays minus 1.5 is even money. Only because Vince Velasquez is so bad, I'm going over 7.5 at plus 104. 8 o'clock, the Mariners and the Rangers. Logan Gilbert and Dane Dunning. Mariners minus 116, Rangers minus 102, over under 8, minus 110 each way. Mariners minus 1.5 is plus 138. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 166. For this game, I'm going to go, I don't feel good about it, but I'm going over 8, minus 110. Astros Royals. Jose Urquidy and Brady Singer. Astros minus 134, Royals plus 114, over under 9, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 16, Royals plus 1.5 is minus 40. I'm going with the Royals on the money line. They're 54.4% according to ESPN Analytics, but they're a big underdog. Or not really a big, but a nice underdog, plus 114 tonight against Houston. Padres Brewers. Joe Musgrove and Corbin Burns. Brewers minus 152, Padres plus 128, over under 6.5, overs minus 118, overs minus 104. Padres plus 1.5 is minus 184, Brewers minus 1.5 is plus 152. Easy play here. First half result tie, plus 390. 8:30, Braves Rockies. Max Fried and Chad Cole. Braves minus 178, Rockies plus 150, over under 11, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Braves minus 1.5 and Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 110 each way. I'm going under 11 at minus 105. 9:30, Red Sox A's. Nathan Eovaldi and James Kaprielian. Red Sox minus 172, Oakland plus 144, over under 7.5, overs plus 104, unders minus 128. Red Sox minus 1.5 is plus 108, A's plus 1.5 is minus 130. I like the over in this game a lot at plus 104. And last but not least, 10 o'clock, you have the Mets and the Dodgers. Chris Bassett and Tyler Anderson. Dodgers minus 156, Mets plus 132, over under 8, overs minus 112, unders minus 108. Mets plus 1.5 is minus 156, Dodgers minus 1.5 is plus 130. I'm going to go in this game with underrated -108. All right, to the weekend. Saturday, 1 o'clock, Tigers-Yankees. Beal, Brisky, Luis Severino. 1:20, Cardinals-Cubs, doubleheader game 1. We know it's going for St. Louis, and Cubs, it's Matt Swarmer. 3 o'clock, Twins-Blue Jays. Dylan Bundy and Jose Barrios. 4 o'clock, D-backs, Pirates, Zach Davies and Roansy Contreras. Guardians-Orioles, Tristan McKenzie and Tyler Wells. Mariners-Rangers, Marco Gonzalez and Glenn Otto. Red Sox-A's, Nick Pivetta and Paul Blackburn. White Sox-Rays, Dylan Cease and Drew Rasmussen. Astros-Royals, Luis Garcia and we know it's going for KC. Padres-Brewers, Mackenzie Gore and Aaron Ashby. Nats-Reds, Eric Feed and Tyler Mahle. 7:15 on Fox, Angels-Phillies, Michael Lorenzen and Zach Wheeler. And also on Fox doubleheader game 2, Cardinals-Cubs. We don't know who's pitching in either game. 9 o'clock, Braves-Rockies, Spencer Strider and Kyle Freeland. And 10 o'clock, the Mets and the Dodgers, David Peterson and Walker Buehler. Sunday's games. 11:30 on Peacock, Tigers-Yankees, Ronny Garcia and Jordan Montgomery. 1:30, Angels-Phillies, Patrick Sandoval and Kyle Gibson. D-backs, Pirates, Zach Allen, Zach Thompson. Guardians-Orioles, Zach Plesac, we know it's going for Baltimore. Twins-Blue Jays, Devin Smeltzer, Kevin Gausman. White Sox-Rays, Lucas Giolito and Ryan Yarbrough. Giants-Marlins, Jacob Junis, we know it's going for Miami. Nats-Reds, Patrick Corbin and Luis Castillo. 2 o'clock, Astros-Royals, Framber Valdez and Jonathan Hazley. Padres-Brewers, Mike Clevenger and Eric Lauer. 2:30, Mariners-Rangers, George Kirby, Martin Perez. Braves-Red Sox, Rockies, Charlie Morton and Ryan Feltner. 4 o'clock, Red Sox-Athletics, Rich Hill, Frankie Montas. Mets-Dodgers, Trevor Williams and Julio Urias. And 7 o'clock on ESPN, Sunday Night Baseball, the Cardinals and the Cubs. This game should not be on Sunday Night Baseball. The Cubs are terrible. Mets-Dodgers should be Sunday Night Baseball. No doubt about it. They got robbed. It's Adam Wainwright and Justin Steele on Sunday Night Baseball. Cardinals should win that game going away. All right, now we'll move on to the WNBA. We'll recap the game from yesterday, look ahead to the weekend ahead. Sun over the Aces, 97-90. Connecticut 7-3. Las Vegas is 9-2. Jonquel Jones, 20 points. Jackie Young, 26. Tonight, 4 games. 7 o'clock on Twitter. Liberty Mystics. Liberty 2-7. Mystics 7-3. We don't have much time for the gambling, so we won't do it. 7:30, Commissioner's Cup, the Sky and the Dream. 10 o'clock, CBS Sports Network, Sun, the Mercury. And the Commissioner's Cup, the Wings and the Storm. Sunday, 6 games. 2 o'clock, Lynx Liberty. 3 o'clock, Commissioner's Cup, Fever Dream. 6 o'clock on Prime Video, Commissioner's Cup, Mystic Sky. 6 o'clock, Commissioner's Cup, Wings Aces. On Facebook, Commissioner's Cup, Sparks and the Mercury, and then the Sun and the Storm. So, nice little slate for Sunday in the W. All right, now I'll move on to Major League Soccer. We'll look at that weekend slate coming up. On Saturday at 7 o'clock, you have Vancouver hosting Salt Lake. Salt Lake's playing well of late. Vancouver, a little bit of a mixed bag. And that's the only game of Major League Soccer this weekend. So I wonder if the All-Star Game's approaching. Let's see here. Because that's so bizarre. There's only one. It's not until August 10th. Because there's not any games again until Saturday, and then starting not next week but the following week, there's gonna be games during the week, Tuesday, Wednesday. So there's a lot of time off for some of these teams. So we're gonna actually do the betting pick for this one only because it's the only game of Major League Soccer over the weekend. Vancouver's plus 140, Salt Lake's plus 170, draws plus 220. I'm going Salt Lake on the road at plus 170, but I do not feel strongly about the pick. All right, now move on to the French Open. We're going to go over yesterday's results and pick ahead for the weekend. All right, yesterday, women's semifinals. 18-seed Coco Gauff over Martina Trevisan in 2 sets. And 1-seeded Iga Swiatek over 20-seeded Daria Kostakina in 2 sets. And then today with the men's, it's about to get underway. It's 8:45 now. It's supposed to start at 8:45. 5-seed Rafael Nadal and 3-seed Alexander Zverev in the men's semifinals. That is about as iconic that you will get. Nadal's minus 290, Zverev's plus 240. I'm going to go Nadal 3-1 plus 270 is my pick. And then at 11:30, the other semifinal between 18 Casper Ruud and 20-seeded Marin Cilic, which is going to be a great match as well. Rudd's minus 215. Cilic is plus 180. My pick here, I'm going to go Rudd 3-1 plus 290. All right, the women's final is tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock a.m. 1-seeded Iga Swiatek and 18-seeded Coco Gauff. It's going to be a great matchup tomorrow morning between the top female tennis player and an up-and-coming star in Coco Gauff. Iga's minus 650, Coco is plus 460. But Swiatek 2-0 is too easy at minus 195. But because I think Coco's a competitor, I'm going to actually go Swiatek 2-1 at 3-1 for her to win the women's side Grand Slam. And then the men's final is Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. And I think it's going to be Nadal and Rudd. And I think it's going to be a great show-off. And I'm going to say Nadal 3-1 in the men's championship on Sunday. So the men's Grand Slam winner will be Rafael Nadal. And the women's, I'm going to go with Iga Swiatek. So that should be a lot of fun. All right, now move on to golf. We have the current leaderboard for the Memorial Tournament. There's a decent tie for first with 5 under. Cam Young, Luke List, Cam Smith, Kyle Cooley, Davis Riley, Matthew Naismith. Tied for 7th with 4 under Will Zalatoris, Mackenzie Hughes, Wyndham Clark, and Dylan McCarthy. Tied for 11th with 3 under is a pretty large tie. Jonathan Vegas, Abraham Hanser, Max Homa, William McGirt, Joel Dahman, Keegan Bradley, Corey Connors, Sadiq Thiglia, and Brendan Steele. Tied for 20th with 2 under. Adam Scott, Jordan Spieth, Lucas Herbert, Daniel Berger, Lucas Donald, Keith Mitchell, Ricky Fowler, Brett Horschel, Xander Schauffele, Sanjay and Rory McIlroy, and Shane Lowry. Tied for 32nd with 1 under. Seb Straka, Charles Howell III, Joaquin Neiman, Colin Morikwa, Francesco Molinari, Jason Day, Robert Strub, Aaron Weiss, Victor Hovland, Stuart Sink, Matt Kuchar, Brandon Wu, and David Lipsky. Tied for 45th at even. Adam Putnam, Pat Perez, Seamus Power, Patrick Cantlay, Martin Laird, Camp Champ, Adam Svensson, Emiliano Grillo, Carlos Ortiz, Brent Snecker, and Siwoo Kim. Tied for 56th at 1 over. Patrick Rogers, Danny Leake, Miguel Vegas, Troy Merritt, Taylor Hogue, Mito Pereira, Sam Ryder, Peter Malnati, Cam Triangle, Bio Hassler, John Rahm, Cam Davis, Gary Woodland, Brian Harmon, and Chon Kim. Tied for 71st with 2 over. Aaron Ray, Adam Schenk, Ryan Moore, Alex Smalley, Anirban Lahiri, Mark Leachman, Doug Gim, Rafa Cabrera-Bello, Lucas Griffin, Charlie Hoffman, David Lingermirth, and Justin Lauer. Tied for 83rd with 3 over. Kramer Hickok, Matt Wolf, Lucas Glover, Nate Lashley, Matt Jones, Gary Kingo, Matt Fitzpatrick, Jason Duffner, James Piot, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Adam Long, Patrick Reed, Evan Van Rooyen, Alex Lorette, Chris Kirk, and Kurt Katayama. Tied for 98th with 4 over. Scott Stallings, Adam Hadwin, Bo Hogg, Taylor Moore, Chengson Pong, Hudson Swafford, Danny Willett, and Jediah Morgan. Tied for 110th with 6 over. Kevin Strelman, Bryson DeChambeau, JT Potson, and Curtis Luck. 114th with 7 over. Ryan Brem. Tied for 115th with 9 over. Nate Watney and Ryan Palmer. Tied for 17th with 10 over. Russell Knox and Pat Gazier. Hideki Matsuyama was disqualified, and Chad Ramey withdrew. It's so weird. Matsuyama got disqualified for an illegal club marking. So, yikes for the former Masters winner. All right, now we're going to do NASCAR. I'm going to make picks for the 3 races. Truck Series tomorrow, 1:30 from Great Way Motorsports Park. That is, I believe, in California. It's in Illinois. So it's in Madison, Illinois. Worldwide Technology Raceway. So, the Truck Series. For the Toyota 200, my pick. I'm staring at Ty Majeski at 10-1. I kind of like the calls. I'm going to go Ty Majeski 10-1 to win the Toyota 200 for the trucks. Xfinity, though, is not racing at Gateway. They're racing at Portland International Raceway. The race is tomorrow, 4:30 on Fox Sports 1. My pick for this race, I'm going to go with Daniel Hemrick at 15-1 to win the Pacific Office Automation 147. And last but not least, the Cup Series, Sunday at 3:30 on Fox Sports 1 from Gateway Motorsports Park in Madison, Illinois. I'm going to pick to win this race, kind of like Ryan Blaney at 10-1, so I'm going to go there. Ryan Blaney 10-1 to win the Enjoy Illinois 300 for the Cup Series. All right, now we'll move on to today's news and notes. Not a lot to get to today. So Ryan Fitzpatrick has retired from the NFL as former teammate Fred Jackson reveals his retirement after 17 seasons and 9 teams. Fitzmagic had his moment. He couldn't be your starting quarterback to win a Super Bowl, but he could help take a team with a solid roster to the postseason time and time again. So, congrats to Fitzpatrick. Now there's rumors that he's going to join Amazon as a broadcaster. I don't know if he's going to work with Alan and Kurt for the football games, or he's going to be a studio analyst. So we'll see what's next for him. Tua Tagovailoa claps back at critics as he has a message for the Twitter warriors who who criticized his deep ball. They're not out here practicing with us. But those people watch you play, and you don't have a good deep ball. We have to see it to believe it in a real game. Giants running back Saquon Barkley feels good about things with the team, as he thinks it's a fresh start. So that's good to hear from Saquon. The New York Knicks are hiring Rick Brunson to be an assistant coach under Tom Thibodeau. I know everyone and their brother saying, this means Jalen Brunson's coming to the Knicks. They just did this because they want to sign Jalen Brunson. I'm not buying any of that crap. The reason why Rick Brunson is here is because Rick Brunson worked under Tom Thibodeau in Chicago and Minnesota. And he's a Thibodeau guy. So this assistant coaching hire makes a ton of sense. They needed another assistant now that Kenny Payne is off to Louisville and then Mike Woodson left for Indiana last year. And they lost two really good assistants, and now they have themselves another good one here with Brunson, despite the connection with the Sun. Yesterday it was reported by Woj is that Nike founder Phil Knight and Dodgers co-owner Alan Smolinski submitted a huge offer to buy the Portland Trailblazers. And then the Blazers come out with a statement 3 hours later and say they are not for sale after the $2 billion offer from Phil Knight and Alan Smolinski. And that was kind of bizarre. Talk about a yikes. A rival coach says that Juan Soto should leave the Nats. He says, get Soto out of here. He has to be miserable. Well, he is hitting .230 on the season. I noticed that the other day watching them play the Mets. But I don't think they're going to trade Soto right now. Maybe in the offseason when there's more suitors. Because some possible suitors are bad, like the Cubs and the Red Sox, you know? Well, the Red Sox aren't that bad, but they're not great right now. Grayson Rodriguez, the top prospect, number 3 overall prospect, will miss a decent amount of time with a lat muscle strain. That is a big loss for the Orioles. Rodriguez really is one of the up-and-coming prospects that's going to have an impact on the Orioles. So Francisco Lindor had a very odd injury. He slammed his hotel room door on his finger. And that's a yikes. That's your typical Mets type of injury. Even everyone was saying that on Twitter yesterday, but that's just so Mets of Lindor to get hurt like that. Gary Payton came back for Golden State last night. And Otto Porter and Andre Iguodala also played. So the Warriors are at full strength as we are here in the finals. The Jack Adams Award was announced and it went to Daryl Sutter. And Daryl Sutter kind of ran away with it. And I was surprised. I don't think Daryl Sutter should have won the Coach of the Year. It should have been Andrew Burnett. Andrew Burnett was hired as an intern coach, replacing a guy that brought some turmoil to the team with what was going on outside of the Panthers with the Blackhawks and that scandal. And then Quinville had to resign, but I think they fired him personally because of that. And then Burnett comes in, and they run away with the top seed of the East, and they win the President's Trophy, which is unreal for the Panthers. And that's why I think Burnett should be the Jack Adams winner and not Daryl Sutter. Daryl Sutter should be in third. I think Gerard Gallant should have finished in second. I mean, maybe I'm saying that because I thought Calgary was going to be good this year. And they have a lot of talent, but that's not to say that Sutter shouldn't have been a finalist. He should have been a finalist, but I just don't think he should have won. I think it should have been Andrew Burnett. Yankees starter Jameson Taillon had a perfect game heading into the 8th inning of last night's game. And then Jared Walsh spoils it with the double. Then went off the glove of the heel of Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Joe Madden hinted that the Yankees bats got to Ohtani because he was tipping pitches. I just think he's making excuses for Ohtani. Ohtani's a great player, could pitch well and he hits well. But I think that excuse is lame. We're going to have to see it again to believe it. And I just think that he's just trolling the Yankees. In non-sports news, Michael Avenatti sentenced to 4 years for defrauding Stormy Daniels. So that's I think a fair price for him to stay in jail. First, COVID shots for kids under 5 possibly by June 21st, as Pfizer and Moderna have submitted applications for it, so we'll see where that goes. A 13-year-old boy was arrested for threatening to shoot his Long Island school. And then the same thing happened in New Jersey yesterday, where a 31-year-old man wanted to blow up a school, like the school in Texas, and then the mother arrested the guy. So, luckily, neither of these threats really turned out anything scary like what we saw in Texas last week. All right, so that's it for news and notes. And last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. This is a hard one, and I really like an over tonight in Major League Baseball. And it's between the White Sox and the Rays. I just think the Rays are doing that by themselves because Vince Velasquez stinks. So I'm going over 7.5 at plus 104 between the White Sox and the Rays is my best bet of the day. That's it for today's show. I'll be back on Monday recapping everything from the weekend and looking ahead to everything going on Monday. And obviously news and notes, the best bet I have for you as well. Have a great weekend, everyone.